stream it. I haven't streamed it in a while. Counters aren't clean. I'm gonna try and refrain from showing all that. I think my life's actually a mess right now. Making 3 pounds of ground beef into a goulash of sorts. That's the plan, Stan. This is not the pan I like. This is a random brand. These are Heritage X Eater, or Heritage Steel and Eater collaboration. Big fan of these. Also, I got an affiliate code, which is kind of sick. This pan I got from my parents, and I feel that it doesn't cook the same as those. Can't test it because I need a bigger pan anyway. Like this pan is bigger than that, so I need to have that so I can cook these. Oh, I need my mic. Yeah, beep. So one thing that kind of sucks, I like to have my phone facing towards me so I can read the chat and I can also see what it's aiming at. How am I supposed to plug this into the bottom of my phone if that's the case? Because this mount's kind of weird. Maybe weird isn't the best word, but... Bro, GG's. I didn't think about that, man. Yo, sup? Sup, Fry? This pan's been preheating for a while. It could simply singe the beef. We shall find out shortly. If I scoot the phone up... I mean, that just gets kind of sketchy. It's okay. Hello? Can y'all hear them? Is the audio better or worse? It's like way too close to my mouth. You can hear me breathe. Okay, if this sounds worse, my apologies. I tried putting in some slight effort. I gotta find a better solution to this mount. All right, we have ground beef, 3 pounds to be exact, HEB grass-fed. I like the way it tastes. It's more expensive, but I enjoy the flavor. First step, introduce microplastics into the meal. To do that, we'll be cutting the packaging. I'm not sure if you can peel it. If you can, I've never done it. I've tried, and you would think that there's like a peelable layer here somewhere, and it kind of shows it as if there is, but I don't think there is. Like, I can peel that back a little bit. Yeah, no, it's a scam. No shot. So, we cut it with this very safe and not sharp blade, YouTube. We would never use anything sharp to cut open objects here. That'd be unsafe. European hamburger helper. This is American hamburger helper, sir. Because I don't really do the way you're supposed to do goulash. Oh gosh. Normally I'm pretty decent at cutting this open fast. Cutting towards myself, that way I can see the blade coming. That's called not the way you're supposed to do it, but as long as you're not dented, it should be kind of fine. I feel like it's like a general guideline, that way you don't hurt yourself. But if you're messing with something this small, and this blade is not very sharp, you should be fine. No legendary cooking stream with the dough. Yes, sirski. Bro's cooking in goulash while we're getting cooked on Hell Nevers right now. Are y'all losing? Hey, are Luminants still in play? Because I need them to be active so I can record videos and make my rent. There has got to be a better way to do this. It's like I'm using a can opener on ground beef. That's what it kind of feels like. Move the lid just so I can detach it. This beef is going to go down very hot. When you're cooking beef, by the way, oh, shnikey, I forgot how I'm supposed to do this. Wait a second, I'll show you guys some sick tech. If I had a bigger pan, it'd be so much better too, but oh well. I send a message to people that I'm affiliated with and say, hey, please send me a free pan. Pretty please. Because I need like a 16-inch pan, honestly, but I'm not sure if my stove would even handle it, so maybe not. Oh well. Okay, the tech is I'm gonna flatten this beef on something. I tend to use a plate. Go ahead and scooch y'all back. So I'm gonna show you guys what I do. Get a plate. I'm gonna hope it doesn't break. It hasn't broken yet. I'm snagging these round parchment paper things. I'll save that for a moment. Parchment paper goes on the plate. This parchment paper is like way too freaking wide for a lot of my uses. I have to cut this all the time because it's just way too wide. And honestly, I'm gonna have y'all hold it down. Appreciate you. Okay, now we get a pound and a half of ground beef. So, I can kind of see it. Yeah, that's better. We go boom. And then pound and a half, so I gotta cut this with a spatula. The joy of stainless steel is you can use metal on metal. It's not a big deal. Just don't use knives on metal pans. It's not wise. And don't try and dig in like you hate it. But metal works just fine. So half of this. And I'll be smushing it down. Because y'all can probably see that this ground beef is decently, it's chunky. Or it's like thick. Chunky is the wrong word. So I want to flatten it to have it cook more evenly. So I take this, lay it over top, and I snag this thingy right here, little press. This is from Cuisine Art. One day I'm going to break this plate. I know that for a fact. But that day is hopefully not today. I tend to use a metal pan because I don't really care about it too much. This is ceramic plate. But I'm not gonna flatten it. I'm just gonna get it to be less tall. Honestly, that's fine. Save this for later. So now that that's done, transferring it to the pan is difficult. You could technically maybe flip it in. I'm not equipped to do that. I can't read chat. Make smash burgers? No, it's how you make ground beef. If y'all don't brown your ground beef, you're doing it wrong. Like, why would you enjoy smash burgers being caramelized in a sense, or having that mild reaction, and not use the same principle with ground beef? That makes no sense. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this a little bit and transfer it to the pan on the very side. Slightly pressed down, nothing too crazy. And do that again. Now the last piece I ended up having to cut up and play a puzzle game here. If y'all can see. Here, I'll move some stuff. Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise. See, look. I have to do it like this. Make sure the meat has contact with the bottom of the pan and leave it there. The issue with this pan for me, which again, this is not the pans that I am affiliated with. This is like a random pan for my mom and dad. It cooks unevenly. Like the top gets hot and the bottom doesn't get that hot. So I have to rotate it. I have to do rotations. Can you make carne de onça? I can't even, I'm not sure what that is. I know carne asada. I can't make that, it's too much effort. No, this is, you don't need oil. And plus, if I had a good stove, I could do this so easily, bro. If I had a good stove, I could simply put it to like, what is it? Like a little bit below medium heat. And that triggers the light and frost effect if you do it correctly. I did it all the time with my previous stove on my previous live streams with eggs, for instance, to where I only need like a little bit of butter and my eggs would never stick. If I did it correctly. On stream, I'd mess it up sometimes. This stove, it's not so simple. It's a induction stove and it doesn't give me the controls I need. I can't finesse the temperature to be like 0.5. It goes from 1, 2, 3, 4 versus the fancier, more expensive ones doing 0.5, 1.4 even if you get like a really crazy one. I can turn on the lights probably. That was not the right switch. Like the bed hair, this is my daily hair, brother. I did just wake up. Well, I went to the gym, but I woke up like this. So in the gym, yeah, brother. You don't get like shoulders like that by not going to the gym, unless you just have really wild fat stores, like really generous fat stores. We're gonna fail the major order, by the way. Good. More time to fight the Illuminate. Even though I wouldn't say I love fighting them right now, but they're kind of fun to shoot. They're funnish. Okay, I'm gonna give this like another 30 seconds and the pan browning, and I'm gonna flip it. Have good genes or work out. Even with good genes, some people, they don't eat enough food. Like there's a lot of dudes that are just skinny and they don't lift. So they could probably have insane genetics and they just haven't really put it to the test. Like I feel like it comes down to you have to have good genes and eat a decent diet. Diet being the wrong word. Eat enough food. That's the easiest word. That's like the easiest way to phrase it. They're frustrating like bugs. They're exactly like bugs. Exactly. Okay, I think it's flip time. Too early, maybe. That is what you want to see, brother. That's called flavor. Oh, snacky. So I'm telling you, if you've ever made stew with ground beef and you just like essentially brown your ground beef, but most of the time folks don't brown it, they gray it. You're graying your ground beef and put it in the stew. It has no texture and it doesn't taste nearly as good. See, look, the issue with the stove, man, on certain sides of the pan, it doesn't get enough heat. And dude, for 3 pounds, I just need a bigger pan. This is just, it's not big enough. I'm not pressing down hard here. I just want to make sure it has decent contact with the pan. Otherwise, this can't happen. I can't brown it. HEB beef, yeah, I'm a big fan. Ooh, speaking of, I gotta actually work on doing it again. Da, 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 da. Okay. If I don't do this with the ground beef, it takes way too long to cook it. If I'm trying, especially if I'm trying to brown the ground beef. If I want to brown it like this, I'd have to cook it on this side, flip it, cut it, and flip each side on its own. I've done it before on stream, and it just sucks. It's genuinely like the worst way to cook this kind of beef because it's just so thick, or it's so tall and wide. I guess it's like chunky. It's chunky, that's the word. Chunky? Nah, chunky. Take our previous parchment paper. Make my life easier with that. Now this may take a little bit doing in the moment, but this will last me about 4 to 5 days. I'll get roughly 3/4 of a pound of ground beef over the course of 5 days, which is a decent meal. Couple that with some rice, potatoes, vegetables, if you please. It's not too shabby. Dude, I have been trying my hardest to beg this company to sponsor me, or just send me a free tryout kit. The company's called Nutrition Solutions. I don't know if y'all have heard about it, but they do meal prep. They send you the food already made, and it looks pretty good. It's also got insane macros. They're essentially like a bodybuilder focused thing, or they're focused on people that really care about macros in food and also want food that tastes good. Now, I've never had it, so I can't speak to how good it tastes, but I've seen a lot of folks talking about it, but not so much in the sense of it being mainstream, more so people that I look up to in, I guess, the fitness sphere. A couple of them be rocking with it. And it just seems more enticing than Factor, although I wouldn't mind a Factor sponsorship. I'm not going to cap. I'm cutting this way too thin. I'm better off going this way, honestly. It's too late. This is going to be a little unfortunate. That's way too many cuts. It's going to fall apart and be annoying in the pan. Whatever. Whatever. All right, we're done with this. You put attachments on the frying. Oh my god. Hey man, if you use code ODO, this pan comes, almost hit myself in the face. This pan comes equipped with the light and frost effect. I'm not sure how. I'm trying to, there's no way to make it funny. It's just like non-stick. If you cook it right with light and frost. Damn. That's a good point though. I gotta brainstorm some ideas. Does it come equipped with the freaking attachments? Are these ceremonial pans? No, I swear on everything, I could decimate some dudes with this pan. In that game, bro, Wilbur's don't stand a chance. Obviously, Super Earth's greatest threat. Voteless, they get in one shot. No armor, no peak physique needed. I'm just, pop, pop, pop. Matter of fact, Meat Bob pulls up, kablam, done. No time at all. And then it's like Thor's Bjorn. It's not. Is it called Bjorn? It's not called Bjorn. It's like Thor's hammer. I freaking chuck it across the map, and it pierces. It pierces Meat Bob's. Matter of fact, this pan has a buff. It has a special effect. After every hit, you just keep building damage. And then if you have enough stacks, you can throw it, and it pierces Meat Bob's, and it's a one tap. Yeah, I'm gonna turn Meat Bob into ground beef. Turn Meat Bob into ground Bob. Ground beef Bob. I do not have the counter space, and it's kind of my fault. Also, this is your this is your once in a month reminder, most likely. Take your creatine, okay? For like 99% of people, creatine is fine. For folks that have like a liver thing, maybe consult your doctor. But for basically everyone else, take your creatine. You'll be fine. Every day, brother, every day. Don't forget, every day. Okay, now that I'm flipping it, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it and see if I'm doing decent. Like how red is the inside? That one's red-ish. I didn't turn the pan. The parse is over. I think it'd be wise of me to do this kind of stream every 4 days when I actually make the meal. Because I prefer doing this versus cooking eggs. I think. Actually, I don't know. I've found a way to make eggs better on this pan or on this stove using the actual pan I like. Okay, so this is looking decent. Give you all a better glimpse. Oh my goodness, you about went in, brother. It's looking decent. The kind of content the content you subscribe for. Brevs. Appreciate you. I need to clean my counters. Should have done that beforehand, but oh well. Okay, this is basically done, so I'm gonna transfer it into my crock pot, which has nothing else in it yet. If I was proactive, what I would do is have 28 ounces of skinless tomatoes, and I'd be chilling in that regard, but I didn't do that, so my bad. This is good. This is done. I need to cut the pieces up a bit more, though. Y'all can kind of see, but not the greatest. You have an improper angle. Okay, they're cut up enough. Y'all might fall. It's also an improper angle as well. Okay, the bottom of the pan, I tend to clean the pan with a bit of beef stock real quick that also goes in here. I don't know if it's wise to do that or just continue cooking. That's what I don't understand. I'm not quite sure about that. I'm gonna need that spatula in a moment. Because I can deglaze the pan right now using some stuff. What's the ingredient list? It's just ground beef. I'll show you. I'll show you right now. So I need to return some HEB bags. But the ingredient list, it's ground beef, one of these, and one of these. Yeah, I do curbside from HEB, and I need to find a way to have them not give me bags, because I don't need that. I don't need the bags. The only thing I think of is if we have a bag transfer, like the ones that you can carry in, the freaking plastic ones or whatever, like not the plastic, the big bags. You should know what I'm talking about. The only thing that makes sense is to have those and we just trade off. but that's like a trust system, and they wouldn't be able to do it with like a lot of people. I hate this stove. It just turns off. Look at this. I moved the pan for about 10 seconds, and it just turned off. I gotta do that, enter all these freaking passcodes. Gosh. It's a safety feature because they put the freaking, the stuff to turn it on it is reachable by children, but it ticks me off because I'm an adult. Vegemite win. I gotta get paid for that. Vegemite is torture food. Never had it, I know. It's kind of the same way that people can think about Guantanamo Bay and be like, man, folks get tortured there. That's how I view Vegemite. Folks that eat that, they're getting tortured. But some people are willing participants. I'm not sure why. And the strat for Vegemite is to put a slight layer for some reason. That's how you know it's buns. Oh yeah, this stuff is godlike. You just don't use that much. Just use like the faintest hint. Matter of fact, just eat your food looking at Vegemite jars. Best way to consume it. Don't put any on the food actually. Just glimpse at it. Okay, so I do want to deglaze this real quick. It makes the whole process take longer though. A little bit of that, and then I'm gonna scrape the pan a smidge. Because the thing turned off, it won't be perfect, but it'll help me get like a better, cleaner surface so that way the next ground beef batch can stick. Okay, and this is gonna go in the crock pot. You like my new band? It's called the Dented Doughs. But ignoring like the little white marks, that's kind of like what happens. Like all the stuff in there is just kind of this weird discoloration due to, I think, the pan's quality. I don't trust it, but now it should have a better surface to stick. Turn on! What are you doing? I moved the pan for like 5 seconds and it turned off. Induction stoves are rage-inducing. Yeah, I put that goes in the crock pot. Like it's like a little bit. I have a lot more beef stock or beef broth that'll go in the crock pot in a moment. And honestly, the pan's gonna heat up a little bit again because the stove keeps turning off, which is amazing. I need to remove this frying air cooker. But for now, tomatoes in the crock pot. Metal on metal? Yeah, it's fine. You can put metal on stainless steel. It's actually better that way. Using silicone, you can't scrape the stuff off the pan. The only thing you shouldn't use on stainless steel, if it's a good stainless steel pan, metal's fine. But the only thing you shouldn't use is knives, because those have sharp edges, and digging and like stabbing into it, that can damage the top layer that will then let you get into the stuff that is helping you actually heat your food. Because if you have an all-clad pan, there's layers to it. I forget exactly what's in the middle, but there's a science to it. But yeah, metal's completely fine. The folks who cook meals from the restaurants use metal on metal. It just requires having a good pan, which you can get a good pan yourself at Heritage X Eater. Link in the bio using code ODO. The link is already going to have the code applied. One of the best things you can do in cooking is to clean as you go. And if you have anything, like even this in this case, I can't show you my sink, it's kind of dirty. But this, if I let this sit around, it'll just get crusty and it'll be very hard to clean. Which, fun fact, I'm not gonna do that first. I'm gonna take the silicone spatula, as you mentioned, and scrape it in here to get more stuff out. I do the same thing with yogurt containers. Because, dude, with yogurt containers, if you get to like the very bottom, there's like 50 grams left on the walls if you use a spatula that can get pretty good coverage. Because even right here, look at that. Look at the difference. But I'm gonna go ahead and rinse this out, and it'll take 2 seconds. And now all of a sudden, I save myself the hassle of having a disgusting little can lying around, which there's more cans just lying around. But that's one thing that I never understood. Like, I'm not perfect about it, but with the tomato things, I'm pretty good at rinsing them out. That way I don't have them get all not great. Put beef broth in it and clean it to the pot. I just scraped it. I think if I did that, I'd have beef broth left in the container then. Like, because I scraped it out with this, I got most of it out. If I put beef broth in, it'll still leave remnants of beef broth in there too. So I'm just like cycling what gets left behind. All right, I'm not trying to mash up the ground beef. I'm trying to mash up the tomatoes because they're essentially whole tomatoes. So I tend to scoot the ground beef to the side. Honestly, when I do this, I usually do the tomatoes first before the ground beef goes in the pot. That way I don't mash up the ground beef and turn it into freaking mince. And technically I could get diced, but I don't know if San Marano does that, and they have like the best tomatoes. I've used a couple different tomatoes for this. Hunt's are not for me, even though my name is Hunter. Hunter is not a fan of Hunt's tomatoes, at least not in this. If you ever see a sponsored video, just know that what I'm saying right now is a lie. I've always loved Hunt's. They're my favorite. What happened? Who's out here gifting 50 in a cooking stream, bro? I gotta scroll up now. What have you done? Marcano, you are insane, brother. Genuinely. Hope you're doing good, not just because you donated 50 subs. I hope you're doing well, brother. You're getting run up on. My goodness. Maybe they appreciate the can tech. That's what it is. Some folks think I'm just a gamer, but nah, I got techs for all walks of life. I stay equipped as well in these streets. Spatulas on fleek. No problem, just creeping through. Are you enjoying the new Health Hours update, brother? Is it everything you could have ever dreamed of? Or is it a decent start? What be your thoughts? That goes for everybody, I'm curious. Okay, the other pan should be done heating up. I'll leave the spatula in here, not a big deal. I could start this now. If I do start it, I'm not gonna leave the spatula in because that'd be dumb. Burning utensils is terrible. I'll start it for now because if I start this meal at around now, it won't really be done the way I like it until 12 hours from now, cooking on low. Spatula goes out of the pot. We're good. Have a lot of fun with it, honestly. Nobody's fire XP requirements could use some reduction. I think that they get a little insane towards the end. Like, it's fun to level your gun up to like level 13. Like, it's just kind of nice to do it. It's good seeing the progression. It's quick, it's snappy. But as soon as you get like level 20, you don't get a level per mission, which is a little egregious. I mean, you do if you're doing the long missions, but 40 minutes for one level? What am I playing? What's going on here? Okay, this is reheated again. Same tech as previous. I'll go ahead and get, this is like the previous good beef from the spatula, as you can see. Transfer this into the pan. I shouldn't have cut it like that, man. See, when you cut it like a dent like that, it falls out of place. It ruins the structure. It goes from being my perfect goulash to an amalgamation of errors. and mistakes. Oh, the duality of cooking with dough. And I'm just finding spots to put the beef in at this point. Gotta rotate the pan. If you don't, it won't cook properly for me for some reason. No mistakes, just happy accidents. True. I really have to improve my mentality, dude. It's brutal. Even last night, I was playing Helldivers, and I'm telling y'all, I'm doing my best to try and go into stuff, to try and play that game, and just not focus on the things that I don't like. But damn, is it becoming too easy. I'm so dialed in. What's being made? A giant segregated hamburger? Kind of. Not really, no. I'm making ground beef. I'm making ground beef for my American goulash, which consists of diced tomatoes, beef broth, and 3 pounds of ground beef that I'll be stewing over and slow cooking in a crock pot for approximately 12 hours. Probably 10. I might do low and steady for like 8 hours, and then do high for 2 because I don't want to be out super late. I'm trying to wake up earlier. Last night did not help. I was up until like 4 in the morning. You gotta lock out. I gotta lock in. But the reason why I cook ground beef like this, the reason why I have it to where it's essentially dang near a hamburger, that's how you get flavor. If you put ground beef into a pan and you mash it all up as you go, you never let it get a crust. You never let it get that Maillard reaction that gives it so much flavor. The reason why people love smash burgers is the Maillard reaction. You put a piece of ground beef on a pan that's already hot, and it essentially connects with the pan, I think, and that's why it develops the crust it has. So when you cook ground beef, do the same thing. You put beef in there flat, let it cook for a bit, and then you scrape it off the pan, flip it, and then once you're done doing it on the other side too, you start chopping it up. Pan rotation, the pan's been rotated. I think I'll keep it, it's just fine for now. The pan only needs rotation if you had it cooking on one side for a while, which I did. So I rotated it once. If you over-rotate, it's tragic. We get a goulash in the next patch. Funny how that were, man. I don't know about that. They let me make suggestions, but the suggestions don't really get taken anywhere. They just have the crazy dough man yelling into the wind, hoping it gets carried far away and sent directly to someone that can actually listen to it, potentially agree and make changes, but that never happens. What's goulash anyway? I've Googled it a couple times and I always forget. Goulash is essentially a stew comprised of beef, sometimes lamb, with vegetables most of the time and some kind of like stock. I think it usually has tomatoes though. I could be wrong though. How many meals per day do you eat? Only 3. Well, it depends. So when I wake up, I have 100 grams of cereal. I don't love the idea of that, but I just do it because it's quick right now. It's affordable-ish. 100 grams of cereal, 300 grams of Fairlife milk. Then I go to the gym, I get home. I usually have a Quest bag chip, which is like 20 grams of protein. That's not a meal, it's a snack. And then later on, I'll do 7 eggs, 3 hash browns, 4 turkey sausages. I do that like every day. So that's my first actual meal. Later on, I'll have my goulash, which tends to be 3/4 of a pound of ground beef with some beef broth, tomatoes, and I haven't been having that with anything else. It'd just be the goulash, but I'm trying to gain a bit more weight, so I'm gonna start doing rice for just extra calories and more carbs, I guess. So honestly, two actual meals, because my last thing of the day is 200 grams of Oikos yogurt with 200 grams of frozen berries. So I wouldn't call it a meal, it's more a snack. So I have 2 meals a day, and the last I checked, that all equates to roughly 200 grams of protein. But I haven't checked in a while, so I could be off. I'll probably input my stuff in the chronometer and get a better idea, because it's been a while since I actually tracked anything. I just eat the same thing all the time. I may be burning the beef, we'll find out now. Rest that there. Snag this away. I'm running the dishwasher tonight so I can clean my Pyrex. Oh, if you go to Amazon, they'll recommend you 2 things, or they recommend this to you. Like if you ever try and get glass containers for meal prep, don't buy whatever this trash is. Get Pyrex. This is cheaper, sure, but man, do I hate it. You have this thing, so it's like, okay, I want to be quick, boom. Now I gotta sit here and finesse it. Make sure all the sides are open, and now I can clean it, right? Versus Pyrex, you just have, it's a square container, which I kind of like, and the lids are these. And the rubber seal doesn't come out, but you can just throw in the washer and you're chilling. But this goes on, easy, 2 seconds, done. Because the other thing I don't like about the recommendation on Amazon, because I bought this because Amazon said, everyone and their mom's buying it, and I went, okay, fine, I'll give it a gander. I don't particularly like that you can remove the rubber. I don't like that. Maybe to some people it's just like really great for trying to make it cleaner in some sense, but honestly I feel that you can get more stuff trapped in there now that it can be removed. So I bought these and I use them sometimes, but I prefer Pyrex. It's not even close. The off-brands are cheap stuff from China most of the time. Well, people just love cheap stuff. I need to stop, dude. I don't like it when people buy things just because they're cheap. It's not because it's worth it, because sometimes things are more expensive, but it's worth paying the extra money. And a lot of folks don't get that. So I see reviews and I go, oh, maybe I can trust people this time. Maybe I can trust the masses. Nope. This may be down for too long, but we'll see. See, this pan sucks because this did not get, nah, it's fine. It got browned. I didn't scrape it off properly. But it didn't get brown that much, so I retain my statement. This pan kind of sucks. I still haven't asked for a better pan from the Heritage people yet. Because this is my parents' pan. It's like a random brand. Good flip. They all said in unison. Rotate. Back to shot. So you ship across the continental US. For my coin, I do. I've sent coins to Sweden. I've sent coins to the Czech Republic. The pan people, I have no idea. No idea. I assume they do, but on the website it should say it. Only brand stuff you don't want to buy are them fashion items. I think that was a marketing scam. Like honestly, fashion items are already a scam because you're buying into the idea of something most of the time. Occasionally it'll be good quality, but they're going to upsell you so much because you're not really buying the item and the quality, you're paying for the brand. Like fashion is one of those things that it's a really good market to get into for trying to promote, but it doesn't serve you any purpose. It does nothing for you as a person in any way, shape, or form. It's you're chasing a status, and most people won't even know how fancy it is. Now, there's a science to that because if you're a rich person, you kind of have to buy things that are dumb because you need the status symbol. Like if you're a really rich person, they buy sports cars. Oh, they buy supercars because that gets you into circles so that way you can mingle, so to speak. But the fact that like there's average people blowing their money on dumb shit is ridiculous to me. Wok has a skill floor though. What are we talking about? I could master it. There's not a single pan on this earth I couldn't master. Wok has not been meta for a while. Actually, maybe I'm wrong. You can get some pretty big woks. But I feel like a big wok requires a very strong stove. So I don't really have the loadout for that currently. My build's not up to par. At the moment, I'm in like that beginner builds. Yeah, this is probably an early level setup it's for sure early level. I have the starter induction stove. It's probably level 3. And it goes to like level 100 or something. But I was farming for a bit and I just couldn't get enough currency to get the thing I really needed. But maybe in the future I'll upgrade. It's just hard to get those quests. The right quests, I can't find them. In my case, sponsorships. Cast iron skillet. I prefer stainless steel to cast iron. I used to have a cast iron skillet and I just didn't like it. I hated cleaning it. I had it for a year or maybe half a year. And I would cook everything in it, but I hated cleaning it. And making eggs in cast iron, I can't. It's gross to me. I don't knock people for cooking in them, and I'll eat food that's made in cast iron, but I prefer to cook in stainless steel. It's not even close. Because I like the idea of being able to clean it. I can clean it, and you're supposed to clean stainless steel. Some dude said you're supposed to season it. I don't think you're supposed to season it. That doesn't make any sense. You season it by cooking the way you're supposed to, which is with the light and frost effect. That's the seasoning. And that's just having the right temperature. Which this stove kind of sucks, so I can't do it the way I want to. Oh well. Rotate. Yeah, that did not, I hate this pan. That did not cook properly on the very top of the stove. It was actually the bottom, but still. This one went okay. Maybe I flipped too early, who knows. Second batch did not turn out the way I wanted to. First batch was really good. Like some did pretty good. That one's okay. That one's meh. Which is fine. At least having one side that's like charred good will equate to my stew having more texture and more flavor. And I'm telling you, smashing down this beef from H-E-B makes it cook so much better in this method. Before, I'd have to chop it in the middle, or I'd have to flip it and then chop it into sections and flip each section on their side. So imagine this. Imagine I go boom, and I flip it so it's on the inside now. It just wasn't worth my time. It took way longer to cook it. This still takes forever because I don't have a big enough pan to cook 3 pounds at once. If I did, I'd save, well, more than half the time, and it would turn out better too. So right now I'm turning it into ground beef. Well, ground cubes-ish. I don't want to have super small pieces. Another thing too, when you ground beef up the way that most folks do, you get way too many small pieces that feel like you're eating mince. This method, you have more rigidity, more structure to it. It's just better, man. It's just better. If you cook ground beef, cook it like this. Just throw it down there in one solid form, somewhat flat-ish, like a gosh darn smash patty, but not so small. Yeah, a thicker smash patty. That's what it is. Okay. Transfer to the pan. And then I should scrape it, but okay, I'll scrape it real quick, and then I have to try and get some stuff off of it. Don't turn off, you absolute. It turned up! I love this stove with a passion, he said, as he lied through his teeth. Wait, this is like falling down. Bought this phone mount, or this tripod. I don't think it's the business. So y'all saw all that color on the bottom of the pan. That's flavor. We need that. Well, I heard beatboxing. New single dropping soon. The Porky Pig Deluxe. If the pan was hotter, that'd work a lot better. I should have probably let the pan heat up a bit and then pour in the water. I didn't do that, so it'll be slightly more difficult to scrape the stuff off. And I blame the stove for that, honestly. But this is decent. It's decent. It's decent. Yeah, I'm trying to deglaze. Add creatine and red wine. You're smoked. I take my creatine top of the morning with my electrolytes. What you know about that? Wait. The pan's mostly clean. Some of this is just because I don't think this pan is good quality, so it doesn't do what my other pans can do. But it could be wrong. Maybe it's just the way that ground beef is cooked. I'm not equipped to handle that. Now, I'm not going to use a metal spatula in this. I have other means, like this. So go ahead and move that. There's still some pieces in the pan. All right, so seasoning. Well, first and foremost, I need to clean out this beef broth stuff. I'm pretty basic when it comes to seasoning. I use salt, and I use, honestly, I use two things. It's ground red pepper and salt. I want to get fancier, I just don't have the means right now. I don't want too much. So there's that. Well, my salt container. Oh, I need to clean that freaking pan. I believe I'm gonna go ahead and heat this pan up again, and I'll deglaze it with water. Deglaze it more. All right, the amount of salt I use may seem a little excessive, but I don't really have too much salty food outside of this. So pinch. It's also freaking 3 pounds of ground beef. Now, what it looks like right now is not what it looks like when it's complete, because a lot of the liquidy part is going to be not so liquidy later. And the ground beef will change in color and turn more of a red hue. So it looks kind of like slop right now. You can see the ground beef and tomatoes, but it looks sloppish. Not for long. It hasn't been on this whole time. I plugged it in, I never turned it on. Okay. And with that, basically done. Put the lid on, call it a day. I break this up into around 300 gram servings, which isn't perfect because you have the liquid, tomatoes, the ground beef, but in a week, it'll be the same thing. Like at the end of the week, it's the same amount. Why is that spicy? Yo, meat juice? It's not meat juice. That is beef broth, which is kind of like meat juice. Like that was, you guys saw me cooking it. It wasn't that greasy. There was like borderline no grease that you could see. You get plenty of salt from Helldivers? Not false. So for your food protein intake, do you do the chicken thing or do you just goulash? I don't do any chicken, I just do beef. I'm not really a chicken fan. So I do beef, I do chicken babies, eggs. I have yogurt, milk, some cheese, protein chips. I tend to get most of my protein from Whole Foods because I don't do protein powder. In fact, I had protein powder last night. That stuff food poisoned me. It was from PE Science. It's a little tester sample. And I just have it because I think I got it from dang TikTok Shop, which I trust TikTok Shop, but maybe not with protein powder anymore from that brand. From EcoVision, never had a problem. But I threw that stuff away. But honestly, recently, I haven't really been enjoying having protein powder that much. I used to do shakes every single day. It'd be frozen strawberries, decent bit of milk, and protein powder. Sometimes I have a peanut butter too, or I'd have something else inside of it. But I do that every day. It was a ritual and I loved it. But since I kind of fell out of love with that, I might go back to it sometime. That's what I do if I'm cutting weight. That's what I did. I'm not sure if it's smart though, because liquid calories is a little bit less intelligent than doing Whole Foods or liquid versus, I don't know. Do you still think you are God's gift to Helldivers, or have you gotten your ego in check? I think that I'm a much more grounded player than most. Like, I'm not sure, people get mad. They're like, God's gift to Helldivers. What do you mean? Because the things I say are just common sense most of the time. Like, it shouldn't take you half a mag from an AR to kill a regular mob. Especially if you mean like my view on people and their takes on guns and how good things actually are. I think that I come from a very common sense standpoint, common sense place. Why walk around the kitchen? Why why not? Are y'all haters of cardio? But so it's weird you say I'm God's gift to Helldivers, or like assuming that I think that. Meanwhile, the things that I've talked about and I've almost always gotten backlash for, they've changed. I said that you should probably be able to damage heavy enemies using more support weapons without having to hit like a weak spot that most don't even have. That changed. When I said it, people said, "You're just bad at the game, you're terrible, get good." They add the ability to do that, and people like it. Shocker. I said a lot of shit, honestly. I said recently they should make it so we can aim our guns better. I made a video titled, "Is Aiming Against Democracy?" It's an okay thumbnail. Probably should change it, honestly. It's not like a good click-through rate. Is aiming against democracy. Weapon sway is excessive. Spread is like the worst thing. They decrease spread on a bunch of guns, and players like it. Who'd have thought? Who would have thought that being able to hit your shots more consistently would be a good thing in a FPS game? Oh no, what a crazy complex concept. So what I do is I say things that make sense that people don't agree with because they can't think for themselves. A lot of folks can't do that. They go with the status quo. I get shit talked for it. People think I'm a terrible player. And the reason why I'm passionate is because I'm tired of good games doing dumb things for such a long period of time that it hurts them to the point that they lose players for no reason and they don't gain new players they could easily gain if they just made the game more fun in ways that make sense. Because they thought they made a change, it couldn't have been a common thing people complained of. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm not saying they changed it because of me. I'm just saying that I pointed out an issue that was easy to see for a very long time. Ego still out of whack? You can't even, what? You don't even have common sense. No wonder. The folks that really don't like me, they are just not critical thinkers. That's kind of the harsh reality. And I'm a very passionate person, so what I say may seem a bit more vindictive, but you, my friend, are kind of dumb. No offense. A lot of offense, actually. And another thing too, like the whole 60-day plan, right? Oh, players wanted the game to change. It wasn't one person that thought about these things early. Like I said a lot of things that should change that ended up kind of changing with the 60-day plan. Not that they took what I said and made the change because of me. It's just more so that I thought about things, made a video on it, and a lot of people gave me heat for it. But those same people, after time passed, finally figured out that, damn, we also don't like these things. Got to start cooking? What? The game had an update, praise me? I'm not even saying that. I am saying that people should probably think a little bit more about the game before they just sit there and say anything that someone suggests to improve it is a skill issue or insert other random word, random descriptor. Bulking? Yeah, they're... Got to start cooking. Hey, my bad for using my time efficiently. I'm cooking and streaming because it makes sense. I'm cooking anyway, so why not stream? See what I mean? Critical thought doesn't exist with you, I don't think. And the annoying thing is I told myself I should be nicer when responding to people, but in this case, I don't think I really can. But that's an example though. It's like, that makes no sense. How is it like a dig at me to cook and stream the cooking if I'm going to cook anyway? Been preaching for enemies, planet resistance in-game for galactic map. Been added, but I never actually reached to devs or engaged in Discord. I don't know if they check stream forums though. Well, they do. They check things. Like I'd say it's a bad idea to think that any change is added because of like any one person's idea. It's more of like a collective thing. But for me, I have said a lot of things that end up happening. And I don't think that they're looking at what I say and going, damn, Doe's really smart. What did he say on this? What I do think happens is I'm consistent, which I think is a good thing. Bro, Marcano, you are freaking insane. Have a good one. Confidence and common sense can have a trigger effect. It's bad. And plus, I'm just an unlikable person, dude. I gotta figure it out. But Marcano, thank you very much for the 100. You're absolutely insane. 50 gifted. Have a good day, brother. Greatly appreciated. Good night. Hope your meal prep is delicious. It should be. Your eyes have gotten some muscles. I have bags on my eyes. Do you hope they rebalance the protein meta in the next cooking patch? Oh, did you guys hear about the cooking patch notes or the protein patch notes? So when looking at protein intake on any product, the way it's based, essentially the scale it's weighted on, it'll tell you the protein in grams and then the protein in percentage. So if it says 20 grams, it should say, one second, I have an example. Okay. So Quest protein chips, for example, they say 20 grams of protein. That's the physical weight of the protein. And they say 40% daily value. That's perfect. That means that it is essentially the highest bioavailability it can be within reason. because whey protein is a very bioavailable protein source. Same thing goes for eggs. Other products might say 20 grams of protein and 20% of daily value. That means it's not as bioavailable of a protein source, meaning just lower quality. Because companies don't have to tell you the quality of the protein without doing it in a roundabout way, in this case being the daily value percentage. There's another fancy term for it, but basically try your best to get protein from a higher quality source if you can help it. And the daily percent value is based on, I believe, it's like a really low number. I think it's like 50%. I think the number that they recommend is like 50 grams, which is super dumb. It's another reason why I feel that a lot of folks get bad advice from even their doctors in some cases, because what they're going off of is very outdated literature. Because I eat 200 grams of protein. If I was trying to do what I'm doing right now on 50 grams of protein, not a single chance it works out well. And the whole 2,000 calorie diet, like 2,000 calories being the, what is it? The recommended intake daily. I would be skinny on that. I'd be like 170 pounds. Because at 5'10", my maintenance is 2,700 right now. If not 2,800 currently. Isn't it per serving? Yeah, it's per, well, no. For the Quest chips, it's per serving, but the percent daily value is like the whole day. It's like what they recommend you, it's what they recommend you get in a day. And no, 50 grams is like the daily intake requirement that they recommend, which is outdated as hell. I think at least, because like what, 20 grams being 40%? Yeah, it's around there. Yeah, because 20 grams is 40%, 40 grams is 80%, 50 is likely 100%. It's the Odo cooking show, pretty much. Let me bring multiple mechs and I can care less about everything else. Bro did not like my protein spiel. Do you hope they, I read that twice. They should have a cooking mini game on the Destroyer. I'm hoping they do something with the Destroyer. Because I still wish that we could go on the DSS, dude. That'd be so chic. How old is the data? Oh, it's very old. The fact that that said 20 grams is 40%, and that's I just bought that bag recently, and it's on a lot of protein stuff too. Like probably even this random thing right here. 12 grams is 24% of your daily intake. It's everywhere. Like the metrics they go off of are outdated as hell. It's very old data. Depression era? Well, even then, even back then, it's not like humans got like insanely big or anything. They just have these horrible metrics that are based on old data, and some folks are still taught that way. I'm asking for a better pan today from the heritage people. Anyway, folks, I think I have to go work on some videos, and I'll be making eggs later. Likely not on stream. I'll say that for a different day. But I appreciate y'all being here. Thanks to the conversations. Means a ton. Very fun. Still need to get myself a cooking stream PC. Someday. But y'all have a good day or night. Thank you for watching. Laters.